Okay, on behalf of the Best Men team, and it is a team, I'd like to warmly welcome everyone to this very special occasion. I'd also like to take a moment to thank Jana's parents for hosting us here in this most beautiful of countries.
Speaking to the mic.
The setting is truly wonderful. For those of you who don't know, I'm Phil, and like many here, I know the bride and groom through our time at the University of Bristol. And many of you also know that Nish read law at university. I say read, more skim read really. And being a man of the law, you might find it strange that you would choose to have 4 best men. Because isn't that a bit like choosing to have 4 prosecutors at your own trial? Interestingly, I was reading about the origins of the best man custom at weddings. It's originally a Germanic custom, where the groom would choose his best swordsman to actually guard the bride and make sure she didn't run away. With that in mind, I'm not sure what Nish is trying to say by having 4 best men. Always good to have that extra insurance policy. Can't be too careful. Actually, judging from his performance on the shooting range at his stag party, he doesn't need 4 men with swords. He just needs his own AK-47. And people say playing computer games is a waste of time. We certainly won't be giving Roman an AK-47 to guard anyone. Now, Nish won't like me saying this. In fact, he's not really going to like what I've got to say for about the next 5 minutes. But one evening back in Balham, Nish once said that he thought we were an unlikely friendship. And looking back, I kind of know what he meant. I cast my mind back to when we would have first met each other at Syndicate Super Club in Bristol. Picture the scene. At one end of the dance floor, there's me. My scarecrow arms sticking precariously out of a t-shirt that's way too big for me. My long hair looks like I've been pulled backwards through a hedge. And on the other there's Nish, in a pristine, stylish, freshly ironed shirt. His hair looks like it's been worked on longer than the Sistine Chapel. So, Nish, borderline metrosexual, me, borderline homeless. But almost a decade later, our friendship has flourished, built on an unshakable foundation of alcohol, sarcasm, and wildly inappropriate comments. And endless back-to-back episodes of whale wars. Now, most people will be expecting anecdotes from a best man speech. But I realised pretty quickly when I was putting this together that most of the stories I have about Nish aren't broadcastable in polite company. Some of them aren't broadcastable in impolite company. And quite frankly, Nish, I've been cool story broed enough times to be permanently scarred now. But I'm a historian by trade, and as such, I love a good quote. In fact, some of my essays at university were almost entirely quotes. So here we go. Quote 1 from Nish. Cancel the date. You're too good for her anyway. I'm being serious when I say, let loose this weekend. Then I shall never ask this of you ever again. I had to censor that one. Quote 2. I know I've been in bed for 10 hours, Phil, but right now it's important I continue sleeping here while you get me a Subway sandwich. Quote 3. I can't take it. I have fried chicken on my brain. This no junk food thing is killing me. Having a pita wrap instead. Crying smiley face. Quote 4. It's Friday. Oh yes, oh God yes. It's Friday. Quick, close the curtains before Saturday gets here. So, what's the most interesting thing about those quotes? The most interesting thing is what they tell us about Nish. They tell us that he's partial to the odd piece of fried chicken. In fact, a prolonged lack of deep-fried poultry products can lead to some noticeable distress. They tell us that if Nish had one wish, it would definitely be to make every day Friday. And I mean every day. They tell us that if his room was on fire and Freddy Krueger was sitting at the end of his bed opening an envelope of anthrax, he would still roll over and go back to sleep. What am I saying? There's no way Freddy Krueger will be sat at the end of Nish's bed. He would have already promptly left on account of Nish's horrendous snoring, which sounds a bit like a supersonic jet navigating its way down a blocked drain. Now, the second most interesting thing about those 4 quotes is that of those 4 quotes, only 2 of them were made up by me. But I know what you're thinking. They should and quite easily could be all real. But what of Nish's good qualities as both a friend and as a man? Yes, it is true that at times Nish moves about as quickly as a geriatric snail sellotaped to the top shelf of a refrigerator. But there are undoubtedly situations where he comes alive. Nish is an extremely social soul, an aficionado in fun. He naturally surrounds himself with people who are warm and outgoing, and if a person isn't those things, he has an uncanny knack for bringing them out of their shell. Nish is a social catalyst. You stir him into a situation and things happen. I have fond memories of travelling down from the north to visit Nish, and within hours the room would be full of people, smiling and laughing. I laugh as much with Nish as I do with anyone, and that laughter has got us both through difficult times. In the years after I finished university, Nish's invitations to visit him in Bristol and his unique brand of hospitality kept me sane. Or insane, depending on your perspective. Nish has a profoundly positive impact on the people closest to him, more often than not without him even realising it. Loyal, understanding, and able to make you smile even on those occasions when you thought you might never smile again. And what of the wonderful woman he has married today? Well, I have a little story that I think kind of sums Jana up. We were in Ibiza last summer, and we had some of our Cardiff friends over at our villa for a pre-event barbecue, a group Jana had never met before. When we were by the time it came to eating, Jana was frantically rushing around trying to make sure everything was ready and everyone was comfortable. As this was happening, I overheard one of our Cardiff visitors say, "This woman is amazing," and I immediately thought to myself, wow, it's not taken them long to realise that. I'd wager that Jana is the most selfless person anyone in this room has ever met. She's always thinking of others before herself, and you see this in her actions not just occasionally, but all the time. Wise, kind, and empathetic, and that little story from Ibiza shows it does not go unnoticed. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing gives us greater happiness in life than seeing those closest to us as happy as Nish and Jana are today. Seeing them flourish, grow, and shine. Their happiness is our happiness. You are dear friends to us, Nish and Jana, and we absolutely wish you every happiness for the future. You will have our support always. And once again, we'll be joining in a toast to Nish and Jana. Oh, sorry, I should introduce our next act.